All right, so basically what I wanted to get everyone on the call for, and Julie and I were talking about a little bit of it already. So the couple months ago, I guess Dawn had created a group, Sabrina had created a group. I talked to Ashley like 2 or 3 weeks before that and said we were going to be creating the next group to kind of share some of the load of getting the, cover photos and themes and files and all that stuff uploaded, because Dawn, I think, had created, or someone on Ashley's team had created the last one. So when I sent her that message, I guess too much time had passed, and when the time came down to it, Sabrina created a group and then added Dawn, and I'm pretty sure Stephanie, Julie, I think you guys were added to it as well. Then Ashley sent a message, crap, Dawn had already created one, I forgot, didn't say anything. So then I felt like, oh my gosh, is this going to happen each time? Maybe it's time that we do split, although I really didn't want to split. And then messaging her, I kind of felt like it was inconveniencing to like try to get someone to cancel out what they've done, like they'd already put all this work into it. So Sabrina, Bethany, and Cindy and I got together and we were talking about how we could plan it, that if we are running our groups together, that maybe we could go back and forth month to month, and we'll know like for the rest of the year whose team is responsible for whatever. So like if it's my team, for say April, I'm going to let Cindy and Bethany create that accountability group. But I was wondering what you guys think as far as like the 7-day groups. So initially we were running our 7-day groups separate, and I really didn't ask Ashley about us joining that group, because for a couple months we'd ran them separately and I just assumed that's what we were doing. But then when Dawn had reached out and said, who's creating the group, I'm like, oh, maybe we are running them together. Like I didn't know, and it's with Ashley having things going on, I really didn't want to bug her with it. So now that we're running the 7-day groups together, do you guys feel like it would be a good idea that, so like for the coming month, we had our 7-day group, we created it. The next accountability group would technically be pay it forwards, responsibility to get going. Then say like in April, you guys could do, make the 7-day group, put the files and stuff in there, pick whatever template you want, and then my team would create the accountability group. That way, not one person is making both, not one team is making both groups, and then we can just kind of flip-flop. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Think it'd be a good idea? Okay. The other thing was, Cindy had asked, you know how we did the 21-day post for the last 2 months? One of her questions was, if we continue to do that, can we maybe put it on like a calendar format so that you can look at it and say, all right, it's the 3rd of the month or it's the 14th of the month and this is what it's supposed to be about, instead of trying to count down, like what Tuesday are we on or what Wednesday are we on? I wanted to know what your thoughts are. Do you think we'll be able to continue to come up with 21 days worth of posts for each month? Because it was a struggle, even like for the last one. Some of the stuff I was pulling out my ass.
So, well, quick thought, so there's been now 2 different like calendars or whatever, like with the different things,
right?
Like the different right about. Just flip those up and then switch people.
Okay.
Maybe is an idea, instead of recreating the wheel. Or I don't know, I guess this kind of goes to the 7-day group also. So a couple questions. The 7-day group, are you all doing, because originally I think Ashley had mentioned about doing 7-day new group or new people only. Mm-hmm. So then we have 7-day template period the end.
Right, and you don't have to worry about using the same thing over and over again because they're all new people. That's what our thought was too. And Sabrina and I had mentioned initially, when we were running our 7-day groups without everybody in there, that we might even flip-flop, like one month we might just do clean eating and put a meal plan in there that has option A for your snack is something like an apple and peanut butter, and then option B is a Shakeology. Even if it's not a Shakeology group, it would be mentioned. I kind of dropped the ball and putting that kind of a file in there this month. But then, on other months, we might run a specific Shakeology 7-day group. And if we plan it in enough time, they can get online and they can order the 7-day sampler and then have the calendars with the Shakeology recipes and stuff in there as well. So, I mean, we can always do that if you guys think that's a good idea too, to kind of rotate back and forth, not always have it just clean eating. Maybe have a little skin involved with setting up an account with their coach and buying the sampler pack. Or, you know, if you have samples to sell, you could always sell them to them as well.
Mm-hmm.
But then with our accountability group, that's where I was kind of thinking of how are we going to continue to come up with these posts? A lot of those people have been in there, you know, they're lifers, some of them, so they're going to see the same things over and over if we're not creating new original things. So I was trying to figure out how can we make it to where we maybe don't do a 21-day post every time, but we still do something. So I guess if it's your month to create the group, you don't necessarily have to come up with a 21-day post for all the coaches to do, but maybe come up with some kind of point system or some kind of, I don't know, giveaway, some kind of something to interact with them.
I've looked up a bunch online just when I'm doing that stuff with that other girl from Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I found some that's like an ab and booty challenge, or I found a template on somebody's random website that I've copied and pasted and changed up and made it my own.
I like that. I think even just simple like plank challenges, stuff like that, just to get somebody involved to be posting pictures. It's fun and it's not, you don't have to put a lot of work into it. Creating those 21-day templates those are time consuming.
Right.
To make you drink.
The ab and booty one I did with the girl from Texas last month, and that one was actually a lot of fun.
Good. So
and I have that downloaded.
Perfect. Well, I think that'll be good. As far as 7-day groups, I don't know what template you guys have been using up until now. The one that I posted, it's an Olivia Grist, however you say her name. It was her template. Does it look familiar to you guys? Is it something you guys have used before? Do you know?
I've seen it before. I can't say when we used it, though.
Okay, because I'd asked Ashley, and she goes, I really think we're talking about the same one. I'm like, I hope so. So if there's a different one that you guys like or you want to use, please feel free to use it. I've just always used that one because we always had really small groups, like 15 people in there, and so it gave a lot of information about eating enough food and why certain calorie is not just a calorie. Like, yes, ultimately they're just calories, but it's important to eat dense, nutritious food because it fills you up more. So it went over a lot of the clean eating basics is what I liked about it, but some of it's very like novels on a couple of the posts, and so I would cut some of that stuff out. So when you guys are going through and using that, if you want to copy it and then edit it however you want, you don't have to put everything on there. It's just a good guide. What else? So I went through and I did a calendar, and I wrote, like, at the top, March says pay it forward. So that means the accountability group will be created by Ashley's team. And I don't know how you guys want to go about deciding who does it. Maybe she'll ask you guys to split it up with all. I know she's got several coaches now that are in the group. What else was I going to say? So the first Monday of every month, not counting this month because it's a weird leap year, is that what you guys are under the impression is that the first Monday of the week will start the 7-day challenge, the second Monday will start the new accountability group, and then everybody kind of rolls together?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. I went through and we wrote all that too. I have so many scribbles on here from messing it up.
Well, hey, Carrie, I know we talked about also, because that video that I saw.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. We were going to ask about that.
Yeah. So instead of doing like the second Monday of the month, starting the 21-day group, do it on the 3rd. That way the challengers in the 7-day clean eating group have time to buy like a program pack or Shakeology or whatever they want. They have that week before the actual accountability group starts to get it.
Yeah, so ultimately our accountability groups would just kind of hang out for an extra 2 weeks, which isn't really a big deal. They're in there as long as we're still posting stuff.
Yeah.
No, it tells me it'll end in 10 minutes, so you can only get so many minutes on your calls. I'm going to stay with free. Thank you very much. So Bethany brought that up when she was here, and I'd never even considered that, never even heard of it, but it makes a lot of sense. So if you have your accountability group finishing up on a Sunday, and they have until, that following Monday, like 8 days pretty much before something starts, that'll give them enough time to order. Because right now you're finishing up your group and then your next group's starting and they're still waiting on their stuff. Not that it's a 21 day fixed group, but it would be nice if they had that week to order and then they feel like they're rolling into a group that's starting on a Monday.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think that's
Okay, good.
that leaves a minute to close or whatever. Like, oh, somebody's joining in. It gives that minute like after the group ends, kind of make like, oh, do you like it? Blah blah blah.
Yeah, and like gives you more time to like talk with them, so you're not going straight from, okay, you had fun in my 7-day group. Now what do you want to buy? You can still kind of talk to them for a couple days and figure out what program's good for them, what they're interested in, things like that. I think it's the next one. And I did, Bethany, and looking at my calendar, all my scribbles, I did go through and mark the third Monday.
Yeah, I think we're gonna wait till like April to maybe start doing that because you guys are in May and or March and April set up. So
yeah. Who is that? I wonder.
I don't know.
It's me. Hello.
I feel like I heard a hello.
Is it Cindy?
Yes, it is.
All right. We can't see you, but we can hear you. But so. Can you hear us pretty good?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. You haven't missed much. All we talked about was 7-day groups, pretty much being only new people, so we can use the same material over and over if we want. Once we figure out exactly what we want to use, then rotating. So like if it's my team's month to make the 21-day or accountability group, I call it a paid group because sometimes it's not going to be 21 days. It's going to be like 5 or 6 weeks. Anyways, if it's our turn to do the paid group, then Ashley's team will take care of the 7-day group, vice versa.
Okay.
And they said that they agree that they think that the first Monday of the month for the 7-day group would be good. Third Monday of the month for the paid group. That way it has that week in between ending of the 7-day group and starting of the new group.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
I just summed up like 15 minutes and 2 seconds.
Sounds good to me.
All right, and then maybe we can talk more about getting a Facebook page together to where our team and your team are able to put in our documents, anything that we're using for our groups, and then also like Julie was saying, putting our templates and stuff in there so that we're not going back through a huge scroll thread and trying to find what we've posted and said to each other. But we just got to figure out what the team would be, or what the group would be called. Somebody else got to come up with that because I'm not good with that stuff.
Oh, okay. I'm up to date now. So you're going to have a team page that has all the...
Yeah, so like Beatnik has a team page. We're all under Beatnik, but it's such a large group for us to, even like this video, I'm going to save it and post it. I was going to put it in the thread on our little Facebook thing, but that's a pain in the butt when you're trying to go back to find it.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we could come up with just like Ashley's team and my team people on there. And that way, as coaches, we have somewhere to go since we're running our groups together to find the templates, to find the calls that, people may miss.
Okay. No, I like that idea. For some reason I was thinking you meant put the files like under the 7-day clean eating group, and I'm like, oh, then all the people could see it.
Yeah, no, we don't want them to see that. We don't want them to know that we are,
not original.
Right. That's a good word for it. That's faking it, but it's not really fake. All right. Is there anything else that you guys can think of? Is there anything that you guys wanted to say? No? Okay. So I guess I'll see how this recording goes, is saving it, and then we'll see if Ashley or Dawn or anyone has a problem with the way that the groups are going to go. But will you guys like put it on a calendar? Do you want me to create a document of some sort that shows like team pay it forward versus team carry on the months? I mean, that's kind of fancy. I can try, but
I can write crayon.
I'm gonna get Sabrina or Cindy on that.
Wait, is our team named Carry On?
I have been using Team Carry On for probably a year now, but it's, like when you go wedding dress shopping, the one. It just doesn't feel like the one, but I'm using it for now.
Yeah. I didn't know that, so
You
didn't
can
know.
change it later. I really wanted Swole Sisters when me and Sabrina started running groups together. Like, I was like, oh, that's really cute, but it's already taken.
How do you find out what names are taken?
I Google GT
Okay.
that shit. But there is on Beatnik, there is a file that someone put on there, and you can go in and edit it, and you can add your name to it. But that's just in Beatnik. I wondered if there was something that was Beachbody, wide.
Global.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah.
I
Because
think
there's
so.
like a gazillion teams,
Well, yeah, especially now that they've ventured out to Canada. I cannot even imagine. All right, well, I
Yeah.
won't keep you guys on here anymore. Thanks for getting on. I got to play with Zoom.
So hey, Carrie, real quick, the accountability we do this month.
Yeah, so if that's okay, I think we put February's together, which that was the one that was like, oh crap, Dawn had created one and we had created one. So if you guys want to figure out who wants to do March's accountability group, we'll still start that one on the 14th. Like Bethany was saying, just do the second Monday since we've been doing that. And then starting in April, Bethany and Cindy are going to create that group. They'll start it on the 18th, but our 7-day group for April will start on the 4th. So you guys can plan for doing the 7-day group on the 4th, and you can make it whichever one you want, clean eating or Shaco or whatever. Maybe we can have our team pages up and discuss on there what we're going to do so we can start promoting it. That was one thing we had talked about too. We're going to try to start promoting a couple weeks before, so we give them time to decide, get in, order if they're going to order their Shakeology sampler pack, and even if not, at least you can get them in a few days before so they can clean out, go to the grocery store and all that good stuff.
The other day when you had, sorry, I'm totally squirreling.
Yep.
But the other day when you were saying about the, like
Something just exploded at that was here, that noise. I don't know what it is, and I'm afraid to go look.
Oh, Lord.
Do you have a cat?
No, I don't have any animals, and my kids aren't here. So I'm really not sure what it was.
uh-oh.
Nice.
I'll get to that in a minute.
I heard it.
So did
Yeah.
I.
Go ahead, Stephanie. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. The other thing that I think we had also talked about at like the promoing or like advertising or whatever, the coaching, like towards the latter half of the challenge group too. See, it's just, I mean, it's so much. But like, so this month and last month, Nikki has been doing it. So she's been doing like the what is coaching calls.
Oh, glance into coaching and live coaching events that she's been doing.
Yeah. So like kind of like the timing, which I mean, that makes sense if you do it every month, like towards the latter part of your challengers. So through the challenge groups or whatever, you will be able to pick out your potential coaches. To them or to the group at the end.
Yeah, I think that's good. And Ashley has messaged me anytime that she's put one of those out there and said, are you okay with me putting this in our group? I am never not okay with that. I don't think that there is anything wrong with posting that there's a glance into coaching, because maybe somebody is interested and I'm not even caught on that I should be asking them about it, and they might message and say, hey, what is this? I'd like to check it out. And if they don't care anything about it, they're not going to be offended by seeing it, because there's a ton of people in the group. They know it's not directed at them. I think it's a good idea. So are you guys going to start doing glance into coaching calls too, or are you still just using Nikki's?
I think we're just hopping on when we can, I mean, no.
Us too. I know